Hello YouTube, this is Pacific Military Contractors Airsoft Team again, and we'll be doing a review on the Classic Army AUG A1. This is licensed by Steyr and ASG as well, because they have the rights. And yeah, so this gun will cost you about $270 or $260 depending on where you get it. And it isn't really that common anymore. So let's get started. When it comes in the box, it should look like this. It is rather flashy. And it's got all this crap on there. We'll open it up and set it off to the side. You're going to get your manual. The manual is not that bad actually. I read it. I was expecting a lot worse. Some battery crap. And it's got some pretty good diagrams actually. And the information, most of it is correct. Actually everything's correct. And it's got some, pretty good pictures. It's a lot better. And then on the last page it has an exploded view, which is very handy. So yeah, set the manual off to the side. The next thing will be your warranty sheets. I haven't bothered to fill this out. I would though if I were you, so do that. And then other things that will come in the box I'm not going to show you are a tool that's used to adjust your scope, and that's about it actually. So let's get this out of the box. Start them up. Oh, and it comes with an jamming rod as well. So, yeah. Okay, so the gun to start out with, construction-wise, has an ABS plastic law receiver, and it is really durable. In real life, the gun is made out of plastic, so don't freak out because it's made how it's supposed to be made. The upper receiver and entire front end, excluding the front grip and the charging handle, is all metal. The flash hider is also metal, which is great because Classic Army does this, and they've just painted on the it's about ½ an inch or so of orange instead of making the entire thing cheap plastic, so I really like that. The magazines for this gun are also plastic, so keep this in mind if you're going to be buying this one. All AUGs or AUGs have plastic magazines, so yeah. I've never encountered any feeding problems at all with these. People have maybe said they do before. I have not at all, so they're crazy. This is the Classic Army magazine, and as you can see, it fits in there. Well, there's a little bit of wobble, but it's not going anywhere, and it's secure. The mag release is this button right here. Again, it is plastic, but that's how it is in the real one. Right here is a JG magazine. As you can see, there's a little bit of tape just because the plate keeps on falling off, and I lost the screw. So anyway, this one fits in better than the Classic Army. No wobble at all, really. And again, it feeds flawlessly. So it's really up to you, preference-wise, which one you want. Both of these are high caps, and run about 300 to 350 rounds, depending how many you can squeeze in there. The cheek pad right here and the butt plate are the only parts on the gun which are rubber. The cheek pad thing can be switched onto either side, and you just pry it right off. And it's got this little lip, and all it does is just cover up the ejection port on either side. And since this gun was designed to be fully ambidextrous, it can eject from both sides. So when you pull back the bolts, you can lock it back like so, and it'll open up the hop-up from both sides. The hop-up on this gun is okay. Could be a lot better, but all AUGs in the market like that. I would highly suggest you get the GMP hop-up unit. It is metal, this one, and it comes with this plastic. To let the bolt forward, it's just like an HK gun. You can just push it out and it'll go all the way forward. So yeah, cheek pad, just put that back on. Alright. Let's see, battery compartment wise. The gun's battery compartment is in the back, this butt plate. To take it off, you have to take off the top first, not the bottom, and just pry it off, and it'll come off. Again, it has this lip on it, and it's rubberized. It won't slip out of your shoulder, and it's pretty nice. As you can see, the battery compartment is extremely limited. So batteries are, pretty hard to come by if you want a higher voltage one. It does fit the standard 8.4 though, so don't worry about that. The wires are here, as well as your fuse, and access to your gearbox is here at the back with those two screws. The battery that I use in this is a 7.4 volt 2200 milliamp LiPo battery. It works really well, gives me a nice rate of fire, and it's not damaging to the gearbox at all, so I prefer to use it. And then to connect it, it's mini Tamiya, so we're just going to connect it and then put the battery in first, like so. Tuck in the wiring, make sure it's all out of the way. And then reassembling the butt plate, it's really important you slide it in, back end first, and then put on the top part on the lip. And that's ready to go. Something I forgot to go over earlier is that this does have the full Steyr trademark, so I can show you guys those right now. Right here on the end of the barrel it says AUG A1 serial whatever, and on this side it has some numbers and serial number on the bolt, as well as Steyr arms right there. It also says Classic Army Hong Kong AUG right there. Those are pretty much the only trades on here, and they're quite nice. The scope is a 1.5 times magnification scope, and we can show you that right now. On top, as you might have seen, there are iron sights. They are pretty good backups, and they work fine. The sling mounts are only in the back, in the left side, and on the front, in the middle. They are swivel sling mounts, and they work fine. So let's see, the main reason you probably want to get one of these guys is just because it's so cool, and it disassembles really fast. Please let us know in the comment section if you want to see a full disassembly video, and we'll be sure to put that up there. When you get this out of the box, it will be shooting around 400 plus or minus 30 FPS or so, and yeah, it really depends. You'll have to chrono it if it'll be field legal or not. I use this in CQB, but what I've done is I've changed out the barrel and the spring to make sure it shoots under 350, and yeah. So to put down the foregrip, what you're going to want to do is pull down and then rotate it all the way up. I prefer to use it like this, but that's just me. And yeah, same to do the to put it back down to the regular position. Now for a player's perspective, this is my personal gun, and I love it a lot. I used to have the JG version of this, and it wasn't nearly as good. It wasn't as crisp and as fluid as this one. The accuracy is amazing because it is a bullpup rifle, and so you get the same amount of accuracy you would in, say, like an M16 or so, in the size of a gun that's a little bit less or about the same as an M4. So that's what's great about the bullpup design. A lot of people complain about the trigger on AUGs. They're crazy. It works fine. You can definitely tell when you're going semi and then full. Sorry, my battery is almost dead. It's probably not very good for a LiPo. And so yeah, the trigger is fine. Disassembly is even better, and yeah, like I said, it's really accurate. It's perfect for field, CQB, wherever you go. It's all around the best. That's about it. We'll have a shooting review video coming up later, and shouldn't be too far from now when we do that. And that's about it. Thank you for watching, and this has been Pacific Military Contractors Airsoft Team and our review on the Classic Army AUG A1.